Unsubstantiated bro science has circulated the fitness community with many fictitious claims. From the idea that we must consume protein within 15 minutes of training or we'll shrink, to the belief that if we don't eat every 2 hours, our body will begin to use our muscle for energy. But the truth is, although it's complete bullshit, these claims aren't hurting anyone, right? Wrong. Although eating 6 meals per day could be potentially helpful and having protein immediately following a workout won't hurt, there are a few lies plaguing the fitness industry that can ruin your ability to put on any muscle whatsoever. That said, I want to shed a bit of light on these myths and at the same time share simple and effective methods for building the body you want faster. Lie number 1: carbs make you fat. The reason experts believe this myth is understandable. Carbs increase insulin, and insulin is a storage hormone that forces our body to store fat. However, the evidence is pretty clear that the insulin response from food intake doesn't determine the amount of fat you store. Total energy balance does. What they also fail to mention is that insulin is responsible for driving amino acids into our muscles, thus elevating protein synthesis. This is vital for maximizing muscle growth. Fact is, if you're looking to put on lean muscle through weight training, you should never avoid carbs. The reasons are twofold. 1, carbs are converted to glucose, our body's main energy source, and 2, glucose is stored in the muscle as glycogen. Blood glucose and muscle glycogen are the most important elements in the formula for maximizing physical performance. Avoiding carbs to minimize fat gain is like not flying for the fear of crashing, but driving on the highway to work every day texting. You're worried about the wrong thing. If we go low carb, we've got to go high fat. But a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition concluded that fats are more efficiently stored as body fat than carbs. They added that, and I quote, excess dietary fat leads to greater fat accumulation than does excess dietary carbohydrate, which actually makes perfect sense, especially since there is plenty of evidence that carbs are inefficiently stored as body fat even when overfeeding. This is due to a highly regulated metabolic pathway known as de novo lipogenesis. Bottom line, if you want to get big and strong, eat carbs. Lots of them. Lie number 2: train for size, not strength. When I hear this, I cringe. It's like saying you want to drive this 6-figure Lambo with the engine of an electric car. Here's the deal. Muscle is a byproduct of strength, and unless you're getting stronger, you're not getting bigger. Period. Seriously, when's the last time you saw a jacked dude struggling to bench 135 pounds? Never. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should stay under 5 reps and max out every few weeks, or completely eliminate bicep curls and replace them with more squats and deadlifts. What I am saying, however, is that unless you're adding more weight or more reps, you're not going to stimulate further growth. The way we produce new muscle tissue is quite simple. We introduce a stress, and our body adapts to that stress by building muscle in order to handle it again later. This can be done 2 ways. Number 1, increase weight without sacrificing reps, or number 2, increase reps without sacrificing weight. Now I know what you're thinking. Align, you've said that the main pathway by which we build muscle is volume, so doesn't that mean we could just add more sets? Sure, this can be done, but studies show that it's only possible to a certain degree before we experience diminishing returns. Not only is this strategy not efficient past a certain threshold, but it's impractical. The bottom line is, you don't have to train like a powerlifter, but you should always walk into the gym with one goal in mind: do better than I did last time. If you're a caveman like me, bring a pen and a pad into the gym with you to record your lifts. If you're a bit more sophisticated, use an app. Regardless of how you do it, track your progress. Lie number 3: Monday is chest day. If Monday, and only Monday, is chest day, then your shit is broken. This isn't to say that you can't make decent gains while training each muscle group once per week, But if you want to maximize muscle and strength, low frequency training just isn't going to cut it. So whenever you hear someone crying about how sore their quads are from leg day, just know that it's not because they went ham in the gym, it's because they're training their legs too infrequently. And if your trainer tells you you'll overtrain if you hit chest 2 times per week, fire him. A study that was published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research compared training 1 day per week using a split body workout versus 3 days per week using a full body approach. Researchers found that subjects who trained a single muscle group more frequently throughout the week, despite no changes in total volume, experienced significantly more muscle growth than the low-frequency group. Another more recent meta-analysis concluded that when comparing studies that investigated training muscle groups between 1 to 3 days per week on a volume-equated basis, the current body of evidence indicates that frequencies of training twice a week promote superior hypertrophic outcomes to once a week. Bottom line, follow a higher frequency training split that targets each major muscle group at least twice per week. More importantly though, find a workout that you are excited about. Regardless of what science might suggest, there is no factor more important than adherence. Line number 4, you have to eat clean. What exactly does it mean to eat clean? Ask 10 different experts and get 10 different answers. Truth is, there's no such thing as a clean or dirty food. The same way you'll never drop dead from eating one burger, you won't wake up fit from chugging a greens shake. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big believer in following a predominantly whole food, minimally processed diet, but I'm also a huge advocate of flexibility. The notion that you have to quote-unquote eat clean to build muscle is not only subjective, but extremely misleading. This type of advice is what leaves people dazed and confused about why they're not growing or getting stronger. The fact of the matter is, it's not just about what you eat, but how much of it. Unless you're in a positive energy balance and consuming enough protein, fats, and carbs, you won't grow. Have you ever tried getting 1,000 calories from broccoli and chicken breasts? It's just not practical. Bottom line, if you want to grow, you've got to ensure you're in a caloric surplus, consuming more calories than you're expending. Following a diet that provides sufficient protein, dietary fat, and carbs is critical if your goal is to build muscle. I don't care how clean you're eating, if you're not eating enough, you're not going to grow. Lie number 5, high reps for definition. I'm not sure where the hell this came from, but the idea that high reps shapes or tones the muscle is complete dog shit. A muscle can do 3 things: grow larger, get smaller, or remain the same size. The shape it takes is completely up to your genetic makeup. Another problem with this claim is that, like clean eating, it's very subjective. What exactly are high reps? Is it 12 to 15, 15 to 20, 50 or more? Either way, training in any of those rep ranges requires that we reduce intensity. There's no way in hell you're pushing 80% of your 1 rep max for 20 reps. In fact, one study concluded that you would have to perform 3 times the volume when using a lighter load to get the same results you would from a moderate weight. A study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology compared a low, moderate, and high rep group. To no surprise of my own, the low and moderate rep groups produce significantly more hypertrophy than the high rep group. Not because you can't build muscle with a lighter load, but because intensity matters. And if you want to build muscle as fast as possible, you've got to lift heavy. Bottom line, lift heavy weight. If you want to get a better gauge as to how heavy, start using percentages. Did you find this video helpful? Click the like button below as it'll truly help out the channel. Tell me, what's the biggest bro science myth that you've heard in or out of the gym? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want more science-based videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to the channel and do not forget to turn on post notifications so you never miss another video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.